Hi, I'm Landscaper, and this is the Wannabe Composer series.
Never just listen to me. At night, I do crazy things at night.
I hope you're doing really good. Call me sometime, okay?
So here we go, part 8. It's a lengthy process, isn't it, this? I mean, I hope you enjoy these videos, but it does take a while. But here we go, part 8. I forgot to shut the window. You could probably hear the sports day going on behind me. So I bought in this little synth that I found. I quite like it. I would, wouldn't I, really? It's a stupid thing to say. I bought it in, it's in D minor. The last one we're coming out of, part 7's in G minor, so hopefully this should work. But I'm just going to play over the top, see what happens. Nice, I think that'll work. It's a good start. In which case, I'm either going to go for a boring old fade down, fade over even, for my little DJ mix. Something I hadn't noticed in the sample is that it's filtering in and out, right? I'm just going to make it tricky to loop it. So what I'm going to do is just quickly check the second half of it here, and let's see if it does this all the way through. That's put me off a little bit. For my purposes, that may not work. I'm going to go hunt for something else. I might still use that as an intro because I like it, but I found something else that might work as well. So a quick musical mode, quick color code. Right, let's EQ these two. What I'm going to do first, actually, before I do that, I'm going to reverse this first one and hope that the loop. So I think with a bit of reverb and filter on this first bit here, that may cover that difference there. Try and EQ this bass out, I think. As always at the beginning, you don't know where it's going to head, so. I'm going to clear out some of the mud and some of the low depth that I don't necessarily want. Now I'm hearing a lot of little clicks and pops and bits in here, and I'm not quite sure where they're coming from, whether it's my sound card struggling, because I mean I've got an awful lot of material built up on this track. If they don't happen in the same place twice, I'm fairly safe. If they do, might be a problem. There's still quite a lot of hammer action on this sound. I'm not loving that hammer action. You know what? No, I think sometimes if you're not getting it real quick, jack it. It messes with the flow, you know. You know, in my head, I was literally just thinking, I saw an advert the other day, I can't remember what laptop it was. They basically use Stranger Things synths, right? You know, the classic theme tune synth. And I was like, that is a lovely synth. I wouldn't mind doing some playing about with something similar to that. And although this isn't quite the same, obviously, got a nice feel to it. Nice kind of 80s synth feel to it. Who's this by? Signal. Quick musical mode on it. Make sure that actually runs the right length. It does. Set the levels. The only difficulty, yet again, I just wanted to see if it actually looped. It's not awful, so it might work. I'm going to try a shorter loop. And what we could do, because that loop's missing the kind of reverb left over, maybe we'll take this little section here. Okay, you know what, we're going to do that. I might stretch it out later and use that second half, but for now I'm going to take this bit. Let's EQ this first. I feel like doing something a little different with this track in terms of like a long intro, a long drawn out kind of spacious intro. I'm going to kill some of that low end, because I'm probably going to want a deeper bass. Not that, but clear out around 300. And I think I want to play with morphing this. You know what I do? Let's leave it for now. And I think what I want to do, what do I hear happening? I want to find some like cinematic strings in D minor. That's cool. Right, drill strings. Oh, I've got loads of them. I've obviously already been down this road a bit. I'm going to have some of that as well. Let's open both of these. Now we'll take our primary one first. Give them a quick musical mode. Pop them in as usual. Sort out the levels. Color code those. Little EQ. I'm going to give them a little bit of space with the reverb, I think, but I want a quite close reverb here. I've EQ'd that synth a little. So given these two are going to play together, hopefully play nice together, I've got the synth up the top here and the strings, the sort of cellos. I'm not sure if they're a combination of cellos and violins, but either or. And because the synth volume's already kind of as high as I want it to be, I'm going to bring those strings down slightly. I'm happy with that. Let's see. I'm going to go a U-Jam, Fin Micro. It's possibly a little bit too much, possibly filling it out a little too much. Let's get an EQ on that original synth. Maybe tuck it back a bit further just to get it more texturally than anything else. And I'll pan it over to the left. I will fade it out and lose it, I think. Okay, let me see if I can get this in tune. This one is in E minor. So we're only going to go down 2, in theory. Quick EQ for that. What I hear next is a kind of, a low bass, sort of almost like a single note. Quick EQ. I just spent a little time off camera trying to EQ all of this lot, see if I can't get it in nicely. I think I've got the EQs sounding pretty good now. I'm going to run this off quickly and then I'm going to go and look for some drums. Not too bad. I've had some quite cool drums. A little bit of a weird choice from me, but I could just hear something. So just going to do a little EQ, try and get these drums sounding nice on their own, then I'm going to try and bring them into the rest of the track. My kick's running at 60, so I'm going to go into the bass and drop out a little, put a little notch in at 60. Nice and tight. Little compression on the drums as well. Let's let a little bit more through. And I'm probably going to run these into a drums bus because I think I might get some sort of higher, more sort of clean hats or whatever, some sort of top stuff on there later. Okay, yeah, the drum's definitely not as clean as I would like. I'll work on that in a bit. Can I move the drums over for now because I've got an idea. I don't want to get some sort of sound effects, some like organic kind of sounds shooting around left and right in the background. Something that makes it feel a bit more expansive as an intro. So I found this kind of gnarly bass sound, which I really like the idea of getting that nice and broad, wide. So let's have a tinker with this. I have another look for some other bits. Yeah, I see if I'll get that in somewhere. I mean, if that's not a if that's not a lead in, I don't know what is. I just need to try and position this, I think, as a riser. That is going to mess with that, but I'm going to move that now, I think. Definitely going to stick a compressor on this. Okay, nice. Now I'll look for some vocal sound effects, I think, next. I'm going to pan this right over to the right. I'm going to pop that reverb again. I'm going to run a little EQ on this as well. I'm going to look for some more vocal sort of phrases that I think I can chop up and add in as well.
I don't really, at night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so I've stumbled upon this little bundle, Vocal All Stars. I'm going to spend a little bit of time grabbing some of these, maybe doing a little bit of arrangement and see how we go and then come back. So I've done a little off-camera work, tiny little bit on the intro, brought in another few effects, a couple of little vocal bits I quite like. Done some production work on the drums as well, so I've stuck them in a bus already, even though there isn't more than one. I think I'm going to bring in some other bits, so I've done that preemptively to try and pull the drums right out.
At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie. At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of feel the drums should have come in there actually. Let's move those there. So yeah, no, there's a lot of cleaning up to do, but just in that kind of free flow state, I've thrown things in. I think this impact here could be a little bit heftier, a little bit louder. I really like this little vocal here that I've just found.
At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like this kind of track could be built of those kind of things, but I get the impression that I want to dive into kind of a harder dance track later on. And some of these little bits as well, these dropouts. So what I've got at the beginning here as this little mini kind of initial drop, I've done a cut of the last part of the strings, time stretched them, reversed them, faded them in. And I've done a similar thing to this little synth here. As you can probably hear all these clicks and pops, my ASIO guard's going crazy. I think it's probably due to the fact that I have got hundreds of tracks and channels. Even though I've suspended all the effects, I've only got a few of them playing just plain audio. It still seems to be struggling a little bit, although I have larped quite a lot onto this track already. Anyway, let's see if the drums feel like they're coming right there. It's a slightly odd place to bring them in, but... Or is it? I don't know.
At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie. You never just listen to me.
I'm not feeling them drums. I think it was a nice idea. You know what? I'm sacking them. And I get the drums bust, turn everything off just briefly. In my head, usually with tracks that are this kind of like epic, if you like, in their sort of sound and tonal idea, more often than not I would write all this stuff from scratch because I can kind of find and build the kind of things I want as opposed to sifting through Splice. But I'm committed to this this little Splice run, so I'm going to persevere. I almost think we could use this whole thing as like an intro to go into something much harder. This section here, maybe, I don't know. My kind of the arrangement's a bit cooked at the moment, so I think what I might do is go off camera again and just have a little hunt for some more samples, do a little bit of arrangement, see where I think this could go. Ultimately, I might wind up dropping all of this if I don't think it's going to work, but I do think there's something in there, something in the bones somewhere. I've just got to dig it out. So when I went yesterday feeling like I've got something here, I've got an idea here that I really want to bring to life, but I couldn't quite place it. You know, ears weren't working quite right. Just some little niggles in the back of your brain that kind of prevent you from that sort of free flow state of being able to put stuff in. And I think also sometimes you struggle to find the effect you want or the sample you want, which is the only downside to doing these kind of splice runs where you're literally just using Splice. It means I can't just load up an instrument, play in what I want. I could do, but you know, I'm just trying to stick to the kind of method and plan. So, gone away, slept on it, come back fresh ears. I've moved some bits about. I've rejiggled the kind of start points. I found a couple of additional vocals, sacked off a couple of additional vocals, and I've got to a point now where I feel like this intro and this build-up is certainly bones-wise is where I want it. What comes next? Not 100% sure, but I got an idea in my head for some big kind of almost maybe half-time drums or even double-time drums, don't know. But it feels like it's now maybe on the right track. So here's where it is with the roll in from the previous track as well.
At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie. At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie. You never just listen to me.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
I'm not gonna lie.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
So there we are, right? So far, I feel like that's a point where I'm either going to do another little drawn out bit or a drop. Probably should be the drop, should be in. The solo violin, I've done a couple of little chops here. I think I had a nice little bit of atmosphere. And now to the drums. Now I sacked off the drums I had yesterday. Didn't like them. And I found these, and I think these are going to go the same way. If I'm honest, I don't think I'm going to keep them. Just not really feeling them. But anyway, this is what it would be if I kept with these.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
They're not kind of, in a way, I'm kind of feeling like, I remember some of the old Subfocus tracks, and I love Subfocus. And I remember some of his old like intros, and the same like Pendulum, you know? Their intros, such epic intros, and then bang, you're into like a really good little drum and bass lick. Which I think if I was just making this track, just to be a single track, I would almost certainly be looking to ramp it up to kind of 174. But I'm not. I want to stick around 136, so I want to try and work something in this loop that has that kind of hard breakbeat or hard broken house feel or something. So I'm going to go search for some drums, and maybe a while. Now, this is going to be tricky, but it can be quite a time stretch, this one. So I think it's 89, we want 136. Let's speed it right up.
That I miss you.
That is the kind of thing I'm thinking of. Okay. Is it the kind of thing I'm thinking of? Usually I'm quite decisive. Today, not so much. Let's get a bit of EQ on this. Might now run the bus. A silver bullet, a little bit of soothe too, just to ease off some of the frequencies. I'm going to spread that quite wide. Pump it through the compressor and the second compressor. Liking that, I'm going to try and work the EQ a little bit for this, whatever sort of synth this is, down the bottom here. Bring in the strings. I think I do like that one, but I'm gonna try doubling that up first, the reverb cuts. And I think at this point I'm probably going to want to drop the Stranger Things kind of sounding bass for something a little harder, a little heavier maybe. Let's go for some basses. I'm just going to have a little, given I already have it in my arsenal, Mode Step presents Bass and Breaks Volume 1. Mode Step presents Bass and Breaks. Let's bring it in, let's see. Obviously it's a bit of a long shot, but maybe. I'm still not the bass I'm after. I'm gonna give this one a whirl. This is also Mode Step presents. Yeah, maybe. I'm saying maybe a lot today. Let's bring it in, try it out. I think I can make these work. I'm going to spend a little time on the EQ and some of the effects and stuff. See how we go. So working on the drum section, I've done a lot more EQing on the drums. I've brought in this bass part here, which I've popped some EQ, a little bit of soothe on, a little bit of compression. Brought in this lead line here as well, which again I've put, you know, the obligatory EQ, a little bit of reverb and stuff like that on it as well. And I've tried to tuck that down a little bit, so it's just sort of in the background. I've worked a little bit more on these string chops. Just kind of the EQ, tinkering, tailoring the reverb a tiny bit. We've got this other little synth at the bottom. I'm probably going to bring in some of the vocals, but also obviously we've got the new drums, which I'm liking. I'm going to go back, see what I need to do to the drop to get these two to work nicely. Then I think I may bring some more vocals into this section as well.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
Okay, this is going to take some working because that is too much of a jump. I almost think maybe some big sound, like maybe that little thing I've got going on there, impact and then silence and then in would probably be more effective. So let's just try that. We'll filter down the original bass. In fact, that's not coming back in yet, if at all. The vocal will work on its own. If I look at where this is positioned here, would that work?
Think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
I'm not gonna lie.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
Perhaps bring that vocal up a little. Certainly this last one, maybe just shove a bit more through that.
Think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
I'm not gonna lie.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
That bass has got to go earlier.
Think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
I'm not gonna lie.
I reckon I want the very, very beginning, like the first string note of the quick, you know the ones?
I'm not gonna lie.
Almost audibly imperceptible. I feel like I've swallowed a dictionary. Almost audibly imperceptible, but I think it should be there.
I'm not gonna lie.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
I think possibly this synth shouldn't start there for more impact. Okay, let's bring in some of those vocals. What have I got here? I don't even remember what this is. I do remember what that is. That's something I'm saving for the middle 8 or the end. Don't know what I want. Don't know when I want it. I'm gonna try that. That can't be right. I've put it in the wrong place. Oh, I've got to be forced to count here. No one needs that. And then get rid of that little bit there. We don't want that.
I'm not gonna lie.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
Okay, we're going to let that Stranger Thing bass go. And now we've got that additional previous synth cutting in. Which I don't know if that's going to work under the EQ it's got now. So I might duplicate the track and possibly move it into a different EQ. Got to work out who that's arguing with. So I'm going to solo that off with the bass first. Maybe even higher. Got a dip here at 195. So I might squeeze a tiny bit up out of this. And then bring down some of this area here. So where are we here? Around the 4. That better? That's better. Also, what happens is the more I listen to it, the more it loops around, the more I think it's fine. It's okay, which is a classic, you know, the familiarity of hearing something. After a while, you're like, that sounds great. And come back to it a little while later and you're like, oh, what is this? Given the track's quite early in its build, I could probably save those strings for maybe the next up. So you've got 4 drums there, 4 drums there. So this will probably be the next significant change here into something else. And I like the idea of the bass running a bit longer, maybe like 2 whole lots of this, but I don't want it to be boring. So okay, something else needs to come in there, I think. So maybe we bring the strings back. Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe some additional reverb drums, perhaps. Like a big reverb snare. Let's have a little look, see what we can find. I want to keep the 80s feel going. And I've got one here, Oliver Power Tools, that I've already got. Good luck finding it. Oliver Power Tools, Decades 80s. Well, that's what I was after. Here we go. Let's bring that snare in. I think we'll start to rock that on the off, and maybe half time. I don't know. And a sufficient amount of reverb to make it ridiculous. Ooh, I'll take that volume down a bit. Okay, no, not half time. Okay, let's get an EQ on that and then some reverb. EQ first. I put it in the wrong place. Of course I have, stupid boy. Now a nice dose of 80s reverb on that. What do we feel like? Lively snare room. 80s, probably don't want it at 100%. Take it down in the mix, see where it should sit. We need some kind of roll, don't we, at the end here? I don't think I'm going to need additional hats. Let's find a drum roll. Nice live one if we can. I mean, come on. Good old Oliver Power Tools again. Cannot knock that. Brilliant. Gonna need a little bit of timing. 12 on the nose. This guy's fantastic, honestly. Oliver Power Tools, can't rate him high enough. Okay, set the volume. Nice. Bring a splash in. We don't want it in the drum bus. Let's put it back on the stereo out. Colour code it. Splash. Is it a splash or is it a crash? No, it's a crash, isn't it? I know your crashes from your splashes. Try saying that when you're drunk. There he is. Oliver Power Tools. I like that. Rabbit hole is starting to appear. So I'm going to go back and do my obligatory start from the top. So I've just heard, I think I need to raise the volume on those strings, and I think maybe I want these vocals coming in slight. I want the silence after she said what she said here. I want that bit to kind of linger. So I'm going to cut this little middle chunk out best I can. Fade down the end to avoid any clicks. And then I'm going to move this to there, I reckon. Let's see. It means I might want to do the same if it features earlier. I think it does, but...
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
At night.
You know, when you just hear what I feel should be silence. I'm just going to move this along just to see, and I am going to leave silence and just see.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
Okay, that little gap there could work, but it will need something else, possibly this.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
I think that's better. So, I've done a little bit of arrangement. That's like saying so, doesn't he? I've dropped in a drum roll. I can't quite remember where I left off last time. Dropped in a drum roll here. Dropped in a splash as well at significant areas. Done a little bit of tinkering. I've got this new plugin. Oh, new to me anyway. It might be quite old. Stab. ST4B. It allows you to pump up transients in different parts of the EQ range, which is pretty good. I've used it on the drums just to pop a little bit more out of them. Liking it so far. Good bit of kit. Anyway, I've added a snare. I think I did that last time anyway, but I did bring in some hats as well. So let's just run these off. So you've got your main body drum. I brought in our 80s snare. I'm just going to switch the phase of the snare because there is a snare in the original. And then I brought in some hats. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to switch the phase of the hats so that they hopefully don't argue too much with the existing ones. Wanted to keep it all nice and 80s for this track. I've done a bit more in the arrangement department, and I've worked my way up to this point now, to here. So I'm not sure where I'm going to take this track. What I use is my previous track as a bit of a guide in terms of length, because I want them to all be roughly the same length. So if I look at this, I kind of want to run this track out to here, say 353, there or thereabouts. So I've got quite a way to go, and I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do in this last loop. So I'm thinking this is middle 8 territory here. I feel like the vocals I've got here might just be a little excessive because they're repetitive. I've either got to go and look for some other bits to stop in here. I'm going to move these ones out the way, I think. So the middle 8, I think what we'll do is we'll drop the main drums out, or we'll move those across because we're bound to come back in with those. See how it sounds with just the snare and the hats.
Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you...
I'm going to take the reverb of the snare and I'm going to rewrite it up as it goes through. We'll drop the bottom, we'll drop the back half off.
Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
Then to get those back to where I wanted them, I'm just going to grab the range select across the top of these two, take that back and pop that over there. Then I know we're back to where we were. Okay, so that's a good dropout. So we could either go back to the Stranger Things bass at this point. We know it works. I'm not sure it's where I want to head.
Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
But I still...
So I think we can get these, they can go, and these can fade down over that quarter there. Go do the same with the violins and get them to drop out at the halfway point as well.
Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
I think I'm going to do another false drop in here with the, maybe this guy. Let's see what happens.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
Let's pop a filter rundown on the bass.
At night, I do crazy.
And I'm going to cut the very last chunk. I'm going to stick that on one of the tracks that's got reverb on it. Fade it out, turn it down. I'll just add a little bit of the end bass in the wrong place.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
And I think I want to ramp this back in, drop these two on. I mean, this is a very peculiar set of drops, so I'm not sure they're going to work yet.
Realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
At night, I do crazy things at night.
And then back in. But I'm going to want some stuff to cover this area. I'm not sure what. But we'll do this whole chunk here. Bring those over because I'm probably going to want those. Probably going to want to bring those in straight off the bat as well. I think we'll trial these guys out. And I've got these little bass ones here. They could probably come in, maybe in the right place. So I might be able to use some of that. I've also got this riser bit here, so I could use that over somewhere. So let's have a look. The middle 8 drops out there, and then there's a little false. That in theory should be on the start points, so like there. Okay, I'm just gonna have another listen. I think I'm looking for some more spoken words. Who were you? I've already forgotten. Vocal philosophy.
I hope you're doing really good. Call me sometime, okay?
I think that will work over the false gap. They might need a bit of kicking around. Let's have another look for something else.
You require my assistance.
Do you love me?
Oh, that's good. Try one of those. Are we dreaming?
Do you love me?
Well, I'm a little bit scared here, if I'm honest. That's that vocal philosophy. I'm gonna take that. That'll work nice at the end.
I'm insane.
That's not awful. That's vocal philosophy again. Probably enough to fill that gap for now. Let's see if I can get these to work.
And most people think I'm insane. Do you love me?
At night, I do crazy things at night.
I hope you're doing really good. Call me sometime, okay?
I think this could work. I think I'm nearly at the point where I'm going to outro this track. And originally, I know I was thinking of going all that way out there, but I don't think this track's got that much more in it. It's just 3 minutes and 20 seconds thereabouts. Probably long enough for this one. Let's maybe just tinker about and try and get an end. So I'm going on 4 whole lots of that to run me to the end. Okay, may back off on putting this on every single one. I might just do every other. And now I'm going to work out what I want to fill this outro. Probably a couple of little vocals will probably come back. Don't think I want the freaky strings back. Yeah, the main string will run quite nicely, won't it, as an outro? We will drop that. The reverb cuts back in as well here. Run this one twice. You don't know if you don't try. And then if we're going big, why not put everything in and then we'll take out what we think is not necessary. I'll pop this one at the end, get these guys happening there. I'm going to listen to this end first, then I'm going to listen back to from the beginning, then I'm going to drop some vocals on it. I mean, I kind of think because I'm there, I might as well just put the audio track on the end. I'm going to do a tiny little bit more mixing to it. Thanks for joining me on this slightly surreal journey of this track. I've enjoyed it. Been a little bit tricky at times, not been quite as standard or free-flowing, because I think all of a sudden I had a concept rather than just a, yeah, that sounds great, shall I get in and work with it. But there we are. So that should tidy us up. I'll put the audio track on the end of this one. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, buy me a house, or just a coffee. I don't care. I'm not fussy. I'll take anything. I'm not desperate, but I'll see you next time.
At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie. At night, I do crazy things at night. I'm not gonna lie.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me?
You never just listen to me.
I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
Just listen to me.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me? I just wanted to let you know that I miss you.
I'm not gonna lie. You never just listen to me.
That all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
At night, I do crazy things at night.
But I still think about you a lot. Do you think about me? And most people think I'm insane. Do you love me?
You never just listen to me. At night, I do crazy things at night.